Okay, let's start. The I think it was day 24, but doesn't matter. Okay, let's start with the day. Welcome all of you. Happy Vijaya to every one of you. Uh,
आपको भी सर बहुत बहुत मुबारक।
uh, धन्यवाद आप सबको. So we'll do a combination of a little bit of theory and some practicals today. We'll cover some interesting reverse imaging. We have seen it in the past, but we'll just have a relook of it. You all are able to see my screen, is that right? Chapter 8.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. So, when you are doing the social media searches or any, searches where you have got some account which are avatars or some photographs or some background of the, it can be any background. Many time, the photographs are look like a beach scene, a sport logo, photos, family, friends images, computer generated images. So it's very difficult to find, where this photograph is from, whether the person is from India or from outside India, the person is from Peshawar or it is from Lohardaga. You have no clue about that. Okay. But every such information provides an amazing insights on your Osint investigations. So there are ways and means of, achieving that actually. So if you have a target, you are searching for someone and trying to find out, who are the people are there in the families, uh, what are the things there on the picture, where the photograph was taken, and is the similar type of, photographs are being used multiple places in the social media or in internet, or is it something a sock puppet or some real one? So a lot of investigations required to be done for finding through the open source investigations. So another thing that, many time in the social media, you can find it out. And with those photographs and avatars, that how the various social media accounts, the friends are connected, who are the friends, who are the connections, who are the followers. Uh, and many time, these relationships, which is there on the social media, uh, can provide a good graph database of the individuals, that how is connected with the different part of the world. And that becomes a very interesting part of the journey, because in a particularly in a typical investigation, relationship with multiples, provides a deep insights about the persona. Give me 1 second. Okay. This also helps you investigate about the sock puppet versus the real persona. There is something known as, a website, gravatar.com. It's a globally recognized avatars. Okay. So you can go and, find out, and download some of the avatars from there. And you can also find, whether similar type of gravatars are being utilized by many people on the internet. And gives you, because many people download it from there, and it provides you a significantly interesting information that why certain people are, having the similar avatars, and is there a relationship between them. And sometime it provides you some clues. If you look into the investigation of, anonymous, they'll have a similar photographs. There will be some fake one, and there will be some original one, but you will find that, anonymous has got the similar photographs available everywhere. So any profile page, there are a set of information you can collect from any social media accounts, which is username, your location, the interesting quotes that you have given that talks about your persona, the websites, the avatars, and the some JSON contents you can download it from those profiles. All the content should be recorded by the analyst and examined for meaning. What is the meaning for that? And first thing that you need to find whether it is a sock puppet. Once you establish that it is potentially a sock puppet, then you need to look into, some other aspect of it, how the people are collected, who are the people, real people behind those avatars, and how the relationships are. And these information need to be corroborated against the data collected for possible fake, false positives or false negatives. You can take some, JSON, output from the Gravatar, and it provides you some very interesting uh, insight actually. Then, when you have some images in a particular social media groups, then you can find out, who are the people he is connected with. And suppose one person who is maintaining extreme privacy, but, the people in the group, they are talking about him, the real persona. So even if there is a avatar there in the photograph, and you'll always find that, some birthday celebration, his photograph has appeared there, uh, because criminals, or the mischief makers, they leave some footprints, somewhere or other, and you have to find out. As investigator, you need to find that out. Same thing that, if he's a hacker and you are trying to establish a connections with a group, that which APT group he is connected with, and you'll find there are a lot of followers of him, who they are, and some of them are close friends of him, who can provide you good insight about the investigations, to find out the tracking the big events, uh, of busting the entire hacker group. I don't know whether you are aware about it, but recently lot of group has been busted. Any big name? Any one of you remember? lot of group are being busted recently. There are a bunch of that, and I'll share you some stories around that. Okay. So when some images are there, if you want to know the real location of the person, the friends, the family mates, this photograph, with the help of metadata, we can get a lot of information. And in the last session, we have talked about some of the approach for uh, how to analyze those photographs, and we have talked about some tools. But let's have a look of that. How can you do the image match and reverse image searches using a good, OSINT investigator. So there are four very popular searches are there. One is Bing visual search, and then you have got Google image search. Third one is Yandex image search and TinEye. And even Baidu has got similar, capability, which is a Chinese, but it provides good insightful searches. It's good to explore sometime. And these search engines, allows you to do the reverse image searches very, very interestingly. TinEye at one point of time used to be the best, it used to be my favorite. But now the failure rate of TinEye is, for some reason or other, is very high, and accuracy has come down significantly. But Yandex does provide some significantly important, image searches around that. And then these are just four I've given you. More than 3,000 search engines are there only for photographs. And there are some places where only photographs are there, and you can do the searches there. So it's a very interesting one. In the Bing main page, you will find the photograph, the camera, which is actually image search. So once you click this, you'll be able to find the visual search box. And once you find the visual search box, then you can, you have got some very interesting features around that. You can put the photograph, you can do a small highlighted person of photograph to find out the real photograph behind that. And you can do the reverse searches around that. And you can even do the cropping of the image, has been done. Then you can find the real image around that. So, you can see an example for that. It is a similar image, it is a cropped image. The same photographs are there. And when you do the reverse searches, it connects you to the larger photographs, which is the original photograph actually. Google also has the same capability. You can see in the Google searches, the camera is visible, and you can type image.google.com and you can find this. So, these image searches provides a very interesting, insight sometime. Even the old photographs, look like an old photograph, and possibly a makeover, it finds out the real one actually. Yandex also has got the similar, image search capability. And in my opinion, this is one of the most powerful one that I have seen. And always triangulate the information in multiple search engines to make it sure that you are getting the right information. Otherwise, there is some technique, that you all are aware about it, search engine optimization technique. In Google, or Bing, somebody has already done that. Then you will not, Yandex does not do that. So you'll be able to find it with more accuracy. But never trust one single site, so, always validate it with multiple places. Okay. Yandex has a very interesting feature, the live cropping. Now, suppose there is a big group and you want to crop the photograph and you want to take the photograph of that piece becomes the important one, then you can find that out. So this provides you a very good selection capability within the large photograph and search for a specific portion of that photograph. That you can always do, take the, screenshots or download the photographs and do the cropping, but here you can do it directly. And, there are, search image add-ons are there, which is a part of, extension of Firefox or Chrome. You can use that, but avoid it. Doing with the scripts is more easier for that than going and doing it from here. Particularly if you are searching for someone, serious, and going to dumping those photographs to the Google, directly with your ID, possibly it will be a big issue. So there are some, many times you will have to take the screenshots and do the OCRs. Yesterday I did it with, another application, Wondershare. But there are free tools are there. Something like Tesseract is a free OCR tool. You can utilize it. You can download an image and text content in it by searching in the putting that file in Tesseract. It does it seamlessly with a pretty good amount of accuracy.
Even iPhone has this feature also.
The iPhone has got also the same feature nowadays, correct? But you can build your own. In Python you can build your own. My request will be build OCR on Python. There's only one word OCR. Just type it and you will find a lot of information around that. And there is a library for OCR. And multi. There are also libraries for language translations in it. You can automate those spaces very easily. So many time, you have taken the screenshot of Facebook's because you can't download that. And then, you can use Tesseract, for getting the OCR. It is as good as Word file actually. Then, when you are doing the searches, there are significant amount of information available in public domain and many times by the government themselves. And some of the informations are there. You need to really work hard on that to find that. But a lot of information government pumps into the public space, which normally we do not know about it. But as a good Osint investigator, you should know what are the informations lying across the globes in the public space by the government. And it requires significant amount of, stuff and work. A lot of homework is required for that. So a lot of registries are there, wish lists are there. Now there are websites, social media websites are there, mass marketing website, Amazon type of, Google type of, market place is there, ONDC is there. There are a lot of information, interesting informations are available. Like, there is a marriage bureau. The marriage sites are there where you can go and find that who are willing to marry. And then you get a lot of good rightful information about the persona. And similarly, there are sites, it's not very common in India, but it's very common in the Christian world and the Muslim worlds, where somebody dies, they post it there actually. Okay. In India, in the northern part of the country, you have got Utla in, advertisement that comes in small newspapers, articles, Sok Sandesh type. But as you go down, this is not very common practice. South of India, having an advertisement for a death will be rare things to find it. Some people does it, but it's not a rule. In North, many people does it. But all these information are very interesting, insightful information, which provide you about some persona. Okay. And then you have searches for find registries for some of them. So that's a very interesting, and you can do pivot lot of data out of that and fork it out to find some interesting one. Then you have got government sources records. I'll give you some example for that. And then you have got thousands of newsletters, data aggregators, lookup pages, newspapers. Significant amount of informations are available on the public domain. So when you go to the wedding registry, registry finders, my registry, the Knot, the Bump, the Amazon, Honey Fund, in India, Sadi.com and other things are there, Honeyfund.com is a virtual honeymoon site, is a very interesting. A lot of people, the information you can find it out from there. And as a matter of fact, I can't talk much on that because it's being recorded. But there was a hacker group, they got busted because of that actually. He got married, the hacker got married, and he was a little negligent about his behavior and the entire persona behind that which particular intelligence agency is connected, what is the name, what is the real name of the hacker, and what are the act he has done. Everything got busted because of the simple some of the message which we found it from honeyfund.com. So this is a very interesting story. You can search it like this: Elizabeth and Rasad wedding. Okay. Uh, there is one very simple examples, which has come from science. I'm sorry for that, but it's an interesting one. Another place where people share the amount data is a wedding website. So once you put Elizabeth and Rasad wedding,
तिकडे ठेवले बाहेर.
uh, please mute it yourself. Okay. So that's a very interesting investigation case. Good to have a look. So Wedding Wire site hosted the wedding page of Elizabeth and Rasad. Okay. He is Rasad and he is Elizabeth. It's a simple one. Go to the next page. Okay. Now with this page, you are connected. Videographer's blog is there. Okay. So there is another one, which is videographer, Vimeo video. You find Elizabeth and Rasad married on. Now you have the marriage day also here. Okay. 31st, 2016 is the marriage day. So it is a videographer page. Congratulations to Elizabeth and Rasad, who were year's celebration in Hilton Hotel or something like that. Some information is there about the person. It came in another place. Now, very interestingly, the Vimeo video so cops the marriage of certificate date time in the country. In this particular one, there is a video there. In the video, this page was available, which is a marriage certificate when the marriage has taken place. Okay. If you look into December, what time it has taken place, which place it has taken place. So marriage certificate is there. Elizabeth and Rasad, December 31, 2006. Now you know the country, date and time. Okay. Now with the head of, hashtags, we are able to find, we get hit the case, Coach LB in the picture of him. Now, Coach LB in the picture of him. Now, there are two part of it. So, we know the name Rasad LB, and now there is something else has come, Coach LB. Now we know his profession. That Rasad LB is a football development USA. Since we know the first name Rasad and possible last name LB, we perform a DuckDuckGo search. We found Rasad LB, Indianapolis coach. Now we know the place and we know his professions also. So from Rasad, we are able to, and then the photograph, we are able to find this. And now we are finding not only this, but we are finding LB word. Now the title becomes Rasad LB is a possible person. And then when we search for that, then we found this. Now, going to now you have the full name, Rasad LB. Now you are in the LinkedIn, you are able to find it. Marriage record, you are able to find it. There are a lot of information now coming around that about him. Now, this record is marriage license record is available on government sites in US. Okay, it is not available in India like this, but but there are a lot of Indian sites are there where so many things are available which will mesmerize you actually if you search for that. And then obituaries and date notices. Okay. Search a family member of your target and see if the familial data is exposed. And you will be able to find that actually. Now, Google makes it very easy, okay? It really makes it easy. So when you search it, it gives you a lot of information about the individuals. Annalyn Simpson obituary, you can see here. Now, you can find out in this, family member name, Simpson Eileen Sarah Nis Blackley, passed away on 1 July 2012, age 69, beloved daughter of Ezel and Catherine Kate. Now, they're the persons, parent name is Ezel and Catherine, okay? And you can also find the name of the person who is collected, cherished mother of Gary and Rosa, means Simpson Eileen का दो बच्चा भी है, Gary and Rosa, okay? And Ambrose and Elgin and Veronica and Carrie Dean, 6 children. A loving Nana, great Nana and great Nana forever in our hearts will be forgotten. Right. Okay, something is there. So a lot of information in the death notices, you can find it out, which provides you a very linkages between the family mates of that person. Okay. Now, if there is a fake persona has been created out of that, you will be able to find it out. Okay. And sock puppet can be busted like this. This is one of the way of busting. There are millions of them. So there are a lot of newsletters where you will find the individuals' names, their write-ups, their interest, their area of specializations. So it never ends, So we have got something social media searches. Just give me 1 second. So there are a lot of people search engines are there where you can search only people. Okay. And there are bunch of that is there. More than 6,000, 7,000 type of search engines are there. It talks about, significant amount of individuals, and the social media related information. A lot of information about individuals, which include address of the person, name, phone number, social media, location, and many such things. And there are a lot of companies, those who are data aggregator, they sell the data. If you are, want to know some of those information, in that case, you'll be able to get those information. Can you put yourself on mute? It's echoing for some reason. I don't know why. Okay. Some people are using 2 machines to log in. Then it goes. So there is site like PKU, PQ, True People Search, PIPL, Jeba Search, Redris, Cubic.com, that's them.com. There are a lot of targets are there where you can go and search your targets. And some of them will definitely not give you full information. You need to pay for that. But if you are in a corporate investigation, many times when the merger and acquisition of the company happens, the business intelligence people are hired and they do searches for this and they pay the money for that. So if you are one of those part of the components, then you can do that. As a part of cybersecurity, requirement also, many times you want to connect that who is the person connected with that particular IP address and what is the persona behind it. Is it something to do with, some state actors, non-state actors, then you can go and search those hackers and, you have much more information around that. So sometime there will be a free sites, there will be some paid sites, but, nothing comes free. It comes for a cost. So pay little and, access those information. Very interestingly, there will be a lot of, sites are there which gives you the genuineness of an email address. Okay. Which is known as email reputation service. And there are many sites are there. There is something known as zerobounce.com, zerobounce.net, email search, many information you put, you need to buy the services. Okay. Many of these services are paid services. Now, suppose, you got, email ID of 30,000 people. You want to search it, you go and pay them for 30,000, email searches. Go and check. It will do every health check about the email on 16 parameters of email. And then it will give you a report, which is a correct, right email. You can send the mail to that person or not. Many times what happens, the email has not been used for many years. Let's say dead email accounts, and somebody shares you can find out it is a fake ID. Many time, the email ID comes, for one time an email ID is created and send it. Those things will come that these are all fake accounts. So your investigation for phishing mail become much easier with that actually. So there is something on the email rape.io and something like that. Okay. Many time, the email comes with, corporate mail ID. And there are mail site like emailpro.com. You can go and search the header file for that, and you can see the complete detail about the header file. While nowadays, it's very easy to read it yourself, how to read a header file for email and find what is the IP address from where it has come. The only challenge is that if it is coming from Gmail, then it comes New York. Okay. And Gmail actually truncate the real email ID IP address, and they give their IP address just to mislead the investigators. So there are some very good site, which is paid site, which is people.com, spokeo.com, scopenow.com, intellius.com, beanverified.com. They provides good amount of, people search capabilities. And particularly people.com and spokeo.com has got a lot of Indian people and family, friends, connects, everything comes. And these are the people, they actually work on a lot of social media analytics and other things. So they get a lot of interesting, insightful informations to them. If you want to search the, the professional level people, press info, ttlo.com, irvsearch.com, linkedin.com are the right place to search about the professionals. Okay. Social media is definitely, a very interesting part of the overall analysis, which include the Facebook related analysis. So these sites does a lot of things actually. Okay. But unless you have an account and you are connected with them, you will not be able to see the inner part of those groups. Okay. Which you can always send a request, and other person is a smart, he will not accept your request. But if you are smart and you are having the daughter's photograph of him and he's not connected, and then he will say yes, okay. Or something, some close friends' names, you can have it with a lot of searches, you can do it here and there and become part of his group. And half of the Twitter, Facebook accounts are fake accounts. So just be careful about that. So when get a very smart person's, Elon Musk invitations, just be careful. Elon Musk photograph is available everywhere. So there are many Elon Musk here. So just be careful about that. Same thing is that, Katrina or, I don't remember the name of the many of the film actresses, but, some big face of the Russian heroines or American heroines, you'll find it out as a face, but you may end up with a fake profiles actually at the end of it. They're all sock puppets, half of them. But when you do the social media, just read it. This I really like that. That's the reason I put it here. Twitter, I'm eating donuts. Small messages. Facebook, I like donuts. Okay. Foursquare, I don't know whether you know that. It's a very good, friendship sites. This is where I eat donuts. Foursquare is all about your going to restaurant, meeting people. Instagram here is a like that. So social media, a lot of information, insightful information comes to investigate the persona. So we all know why we use social media, is that right? So Facebook, lot of information you get it there. But anyone above 13 and with old and a valid email address can become part of. Significant amount of information, 2.41 billion monthly active user accounts, which is significantly large, two-thirds of the population of the earth. 1.59 billion daily active users, which is almost one-fourth of the world's population. 1.74 billion mobile active users, 307 million users in Europe. Removed 2.2 billion fake account in first quarter in 2019. 2.2 billion account has been removed as a fake account. So a lot of Osint you can do it. You can find the photograph of the targets, videos, like, dislike of targets, behavior patterns, friends of the targets, group membership, location targets. You can find even the location where it is, event invited in events attended. Okay. So Facebook data is protected, but many people do not protect the data. You can protect the data to only you, your friends, friend of friends, or public. But many people put it public and they expose every information about them. The smart people will only you. Difficult to find, but still, if you are a part of the group, then you will be able to see a lot of information. Okay, we'll stop here. We'll do some practicals. Vishnu,
Yes,
are you
sir.
there? We'll do some
Yes, sir.
practicals. Okay. Let's start from the scratch. Step one. Let me give you the rights. Give me just 1 second. Make host. संतोष, आपका आज ऑफिस नहीं खुला हुआ है?
नहीं सर, आज छुट्टी है दशहरे का।
चलो, बढ़िया बढ़िया। आई एम सो हैप्पी टू सी यू हियर।
हैप्पी दशहरा सर।
Shall I start first with Osint scripts?
Yes, let's start that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
We have shown some, but let's have a look and we'll explain the codes also.
Sir, please give me the right to share screen.
I've made you the co-host here.
No, sir.
Just check.
Yeah, sir. Now,
The beauty of the Python is that, the small to big job, everything you can automate it. And that's the reason why Python, we spend so much of time just to build the base for that.
Is my screen visible now, sir?
Yes.
It's very much visible, gentlemen. I'm just wondering which one I should take a ride.
Sir, is my screen visible now?
Yeah, I can see two nice car. Yeah, now I can see the screen. I was just wondering which car I should go for a ride.
So first see how we can scrape data from websites using request library.
Yesterday we have read request library, is that right? So we'll see some practical example of request.
So we will use both requests and registration library. Okay. So first we will request library, and then we will import regular expression, and then we will create a variable that will contain the website link from where we will extract data. And in this variable, we are a regex pattern that we look for. Suppose we want to extract email addresses from this website. So first we are creating a pattern for registration. See, in this pattern, it will look first alphabets, then digits from 0 to 9, just like we use in our email IDs. First, we provide characters, then we provide some digits. We use like @ symbol, and then again we use some letters there. So it will look at pattern, and it will extract out all the email addresses present in this website. So let's run this script. See, we got all the IDs that were present in that website. You can see a lot of IDs here.
Wow.
So similar way, we can go to different websites. We can put here links of different websites, and we can extract data from those websites according to our need using these regular expressions. We extract here email IDs. We can extract some other data too according to our needs. You can try this script and on other websites also.
Just one in this blacklist slash ivanov@gmail.com. So this is the entire link of that place from where we have to get these email IDs.
Yeah, you can use a website, any website link here. I'm using this website. You can use any website. Okay. You need to paste the full link of that website.
Just put my website link, https cybervidyapit.in.
Okay. Actually, in this website, there is a list blacklisted email IDs.
Okay,
There is
okay.
already
Just
a list
leave it. That's the
provided there.
reason bulk of email ID is coming.
So all these email IDs are actually blacklisted IDs, all that are present in this website, cleantalk.org. So now let's move on to scrapping. That how can we scrap particular things, sets of paragraphs and text from a website?
Okay, so let me give you some explanation for that. Beautiful Soup is another library for web scraping and putting it in very, very good formats. Okay, request is definitely make the request, and then BS4 is a Beautiful Soup library which you have not read so far. But Beautiful Soup, does provides a very interesting insight for web scraping. Okay, over to you.
Okay, sir. See, we are here using two libraries, Request and Beautiful Soup. First, we will create a variable that store the URL for the address for the website. And then we will, suppose we want to the header that is present in that website. So let me show you what I want to say. So let's go to this website. So this is the website link. Suppose, and here this text is the header in this website, and I want only this text. So using Beautiful, I will provide here H1. This denotes header present in any website. If you will look in HTML of any website, every part of the web page is denoted using some tag, and header of the web page is denoted using H1 tag. So let's run this code and see. See. The text printed here is what we desired. Only the header present in the website. See here. Find, install, and publish Python packages with the Python package index. This is the header of this website. And by providing H1, we are getting the header of the website printed. Suppose we want to print title of the web page. So just change H1 to title.
So what happens, when you do the, web searches and web scraping, you can download the entire HTML page itself if the system allows you to do that. Many times web server does not allow you to do that. Many times it allows you to, do the specific searches based on the HTML format, whether it is a header file, whether it is a footnote file, whether it is a content file. If you have good idea about HTML and DHTML, you will be able to do a targeted, file extract from there. This not only saves you a significant amount of server space, but also it provides you very targeted search. Many time, these searches helps you get the specific information out of that. So a combination of request library, regex library function, and BS4 library, you can really get a very targeted string type of information or header information or a content information out of that in a very structured manner. And that becomes one of the important role. Suppose this is just for one site. Okay, now suppose we have to search for 1 million site, then what will happen? You can't do it manually. Okay, here you can go to the website, copy it, and paste it. Your job is done. But suppose if you have to search telephone number or email ID for 10,000 places, then manually it is impossible to achieve that. So with the help of a script, you will be able to just make one query and make a smart search, and you get 10,000 done immediately. Yesterday we have seen one example for GitHub library. On the GitHub library, we were able to really go deeper inside the GitHub and find the relevant scripts out of that actually. Now GitHub library, we got 141,000 strings. Now 141,000 strings you can never go manually, and it will take years to get those information. So that's the beauty of beautiful soup request and regex capabilities. Over to you, Vishnu. Yeah.
Yeah. In this script, we used to extract all the email IDs present in that website. Similarly, we can patterns and extract phone numbers and more data. Okay. And using this script, you can also print paragraphs present website. You just need to know little about HTMLs. You can go to websites and learn. Just like here, N is used for headings, P is used for paragraphs, title is used for printing the title. So just get about HTML, and you can able to extract many data from websites using these scripts. So let's move to next one.
Yeah, a good understanding of HTML and HTML really helps you, as a Osint investigator, because in a web page, millions of pages, if you understand the, the way the HTML or HTML works, then you can, do the targeted search much easier actually. What do you, Vishnu?
So now let's see about proxies. So let me first tell you what a proxy is. So actually a proxy is acting as a mediator between you and the server or the web page you want to visit. Whatever request you are making to the website, it first goes to the proxy, and then it goes to the server or the web page. And then the response is again first going to proxy server, and then it will go to your computer. So it will hide your IP address from that website or server. The proxy server will make requests to the and servers on your behalf. So sometimes what happens, if you are making multiple to a website, it actually blocks your IP address. So it to use some proxy IP addresses to make to websites. So suppose I am using here one proxy IP and making requests to google.com.
It's a proxy server IP, or just
Yeah, it's a proxy IP. this proxy IP will appear to the website, or not your IP will appear.
Okay.
See, we got the HTML code of that web page printed here. So this script is actually making requests to the google.com as this IP, not using your. So it will, in a way, it will hide your IP address from that website. Here we have provided only one proxy IP. Similarly, we can provide multiple proxy IPs, because sometimes what happens, proxy IPs are not working. So we can provide multiple proxy IPs.
My question is this: is there just a random IP number, or you have set up already?
No. It's not. It's not
No.
random. It has to be a proxy address. You need to know some proxies and their IP address. It's not random numbers.
There are some free proxy IPs available on the internet. You can just type free proxy IPs and you will get of them.
Not very trustworthy one. The proxy will know all about you. But it's fine to use these proxies, to start with. And there are pages, which blocks this proxy address. Okay. So if you are coming to, some of the really secured website, the free proxy addresses, which gets published every day, they get a list through the Osint and then they block it. And anyone trying to come through those proxies are not allowed to come. I used to do it on a very regular basis, particularly to block the traffic from China, actually.
So a safe method to use multiple proxies, so that if any one of them is blocked, you can
and this is known as,
at least one of them.
There is a term around it, which is known as proxy chaining.
So this script will do what? If the proxy IP is not working, it will just print no. And if the proxy IP is working, it will get us the result printed, the HTML code of the web page.
Don't go to the Google, go to the example.com.
This one. This is the HTML code of the web page. You can actually copy this HTML code and beautify it and view. Let me show you. Copy from here. Go to code beautifier. This HTML code will appear like this as a web page. So this is a user site, code beautifier. You can beautify and view the HTML codes, JSON codes of the web pages. Similar to IP addresses, you can use agent. You can change your user agent and make requests to the websites. Like here, I'm using a Linux machine, but I am making it as a Mac OS. Okay.
This you are changing the footprints of the machines, okay?
You can see
Basically,
here
your
Mac
two
OS.
components are there, footprints and fingerprint. This is one of the footprints. So you are actually masquerading that actually.
Still we are getting the results. So you can use this to change your user agent and request to the websites. So to that website, it is appearing as I'm using a Mac OS and not a Linux machine. So these were some interesting practicals, and I will show you some more later on. So that's all, sir. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yesterday, I have a query regarding API, how to use API using Python.
Okay.
Okay,
Lagos,
API.
we will do one
Okay.
example for API. Okay. Santosh, are you there?
Yes, sir.
यार वो अपना वायरस टोटल वाला एपीआई इंटीग्रेशन जो किए थे ना वो एक बार दिखाना है इसके बाद आफ्टर दिस ओके
Okay. Let me start my PC. I'm joining from mobile.
अच्छा
Just give me
मोबाइल से
5
ज्वाइन कर
minutes.
लिए हो अच्छा अच्छा
हाँ
ठीक
हाँ.
है टेक योर टाइम
Give
नो
me 5
प्रॉब्लम
minutes.
हाँ सर, नो
Okay.
प्रॉब्लम।
So that was all from my side, because the rest of the practicals are you for using lists.
Vishnu, one you can show it, file conversions,
Which-
into structured format, maybe in Word document or PDF document. Any example
Okay,
you
sir.
have?
Okay. See, this we are using this script for converting the JSON format into CSV. The data we are extracting from websites, we can either extract them in the form of text, HTML, or JSON format. And when we are extracting them in a format, we can beautify them, we can save them in a CSV format using this script.
So here, very interesting thing is happening. It's going to, there's an API which is going to the GitHub library, okay? And yesterday we have seen this, but we are just repeating it. It's a JavaScript. Whatever JavaScript is there, it will go to all the, GitHub, which are open GitHub. and we'll search it and we'll find the JavaScript. And when it finds the JavaScript, it will bring it to your CSV format. First, it will, by default, it will come to JSON, and then it gets converted into a CSV format, which is easily understood. Okay. Now, any open API, okay, any GitHub, which is open actually, it is going to search for that actually. This request is for direct request to the using an API. Yes, Vishnu, what do you?
Yeah, we are using here 3 libraries: JSON, request, and CSV. You need to import first, make request to the website, and then create a JSON data, save it in a variable in the JSON format. We are saving the response in a JSON format, response.json. Create a CSV file, and then use a CSV writer to separate these strings for saving in a CSV format. Actually, CSV stands for comma separated values. It actually separates on the basis of commas provided in string or text.
And you see the beautiful usage of the file handling capability of the Python. See, none of the script is more than 10 lines of length. You are seeing the power of it.
Sir, I joined through my laptop.
Okay. Yeah, 2 minutes. We'll just finish this, and after that, you'll move to your system.
See, the script has successfully run. Now let us check where it has been saved in CSV format. This is the file, convert CSV. .csv. See, all are separated in separate columns: login, ID, node ID, avatar URL, HTML URL, follow URL. So now we are getting the results structured format. So using this script, you can get your structure in structured formats, save them in structured formats. Now, these scripts are for reading a CSV file. Suppose you are having a very large CSV file and you want to go through all the data. So you can use this to get only selected data that you want to get from the file. So you will just need to import a CSV library, write the script according to your need. Like I want to print here only the first column from the CSV file. See, this is the file test.csv. In its first column is last name and Smith. And after running script, we are getting printed here last name and Smith. So similarly, you can use to go through second column or through another rows CSV file. You can just change this script according to your need. See, in this script, we are going through the CSV file. Let me show you. See, it's going through both of the CSV file. All the data contained in both the rows of the file are getting printed here. You can also write a CSV file using Python script to create CSV file. CSV files really like Excel files. So you need to just import CSV library, create a file using open function, use CSV writer, provide header, just like I have provided here, last name, first name, age, country. Then I'm providing the data, Smith, John, age is 35, USA country. Complete the script and then run. This is the CSV file I created. This way you can use these scripts for manipulating JSON files, CSV files. Okay. So sir, this was all for file conversion. Hello, sir. Okay. Anyone having any question?
नो अच्छा मेरे को एक मालूम पड़ा था कि हाउ टू कनेक्ट टू द डेटाबेस और रिट्रीव डेटा फ्रॉम द डेटाबेस इज देयर एनी एग्जांपल्स जस्ट लाइक माय एसक्यूएल SQL server is there any way
Okay.
later on we can
Currently, I
create report accordingly?
okay. How we can create reports from databases?
Yeah.
Okay. Currently, I don't have the practical prepared
No
for
problem, no
the
problem.
databases.
No problem.
Hello, sir. Are you there?
I think Balaji sir has got disconnected.
Oh.
Okay, I will just share the code of virus total, which
Okay. Okay. I am providing you the permission to share the screen. Let me unshare my. Yeah, Santosh ji, now you can share your screen.
Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, so basically, this code is connecting with the virus total site. Okay, to connect with the virus total site, they require an API key. Okay, if you can see this, I just basically what I did here, the application having an config.ini file where I put all the required information into that ini file. I'll better show it in the Visual Studio Code. So here I have put it all this information. Where is the endpoint URL? Where is the report URL? Okay, and to connect or to get the information from the virus total site, we need an API key. Okay, this API key is uh, separate from each person. You can take it from the that website. Okay, without this API key, you cannot connect to that virus total site. So here I use so many libraries, basically RPass, base64, hashlib, so JSON, multiprocessing, so config parser, pandas, PDF key, pathlib, request, time, and void. So basically I just color coded the output. If you can see my output, it is in a different color coding. If I run in a So you can see that different color coding is appeared into the terminal. So I use the color coding into the application. Okay. So here I have put it into an object-oriented format. So here I just reading the data from the config file where I'm putting all the required information into that variable. So I can directly use this variable. If any chance I want to change this link or this website information, I can change it at one place and I can reuse. So I can reduce my coding effort here. So here I'm doing IP analysis in this class. Here I'm just doing my URL report. Okay. So here what I'm doing is I'm just taking this headers, what we learned yesterday from the sir. Okay, I'm just creating the response using that request and request. I'm just using the get method and the URL name. The URL name, I'm just giving this endpoint URL plus URL ID. I'm just creating an URL ID. One of I can say this unique URL ID, you should have this. And I'm just connecting this URL ID and just passing this information through the response request.request using the get method. And header, you can have the header. Yesterday we had discussion with the sir what is the headers, okay, for the HTML component, okay. And you can just pass this information with the HTML tag, okay. Basically, I'm just want this output into the HTML and PDF format. So basically, I'm just first getting this output into the HTML format, and then I'm converting that HTML into the PDF format. So here, once I'm getting the output, so the response, decode response, I'm just getting this output. I'm just sending this information to the HTML tag. So basically, I'm just formatting output and I want this information in the HTML format. So here, what I'm doing that I'm just formatting this output. Okay. So formatting, I'm just using some HTML tags here. Okay. So you can see this is a little looks little complex, but this is all the formatting. So basically the data I'm getting from the virus total site, that data contain this information. Okay, if you can see that this data content, the virus total give me the output, okay, this content, this information. So whatever information is required for me, based on that information, I'm just creating my HTML report. Okay. So if I find that some of the information is not relevant, then I'm just removing that. The information I want this, I'm just using this information and I'm creating my report. So I'm just using the for loop. I'm just going through each and every keys, what I'm just getting. Basically, I'm just removing the key, what I'm not required here. So there are huge list of keys I'm getting here. I'm just removing the key, what I'm not required here. Okay. Some of the, because it is making that report very bulky and this is not an good formatting. And then I'm creating the data format using the pandas. Okay. Using these pandas, I'm just passing, I'm creating the columns and basically I'm creating the CSV or the XML kind of, not XML, Excel kind of structure. So basically pandas is giving you the structure like columns, header, columns, rows kind of structure. So it is really easy for to manipulate the data or to do any kind of report out of that data. Once I'm getting all this data, I'm just giving the name of that headers, like I want community score, last analysis date, virus total, link. So I'm just giving the name or the formatting. That if you can see in the HTML, see, you can see that I am just giving the proper name of the report or to human understandable. Okay, so this is community score. So out of 90 communities, there are no, basically this IP doesn't have any malicious activity. So there are all total 90s communities are there. If you can see this, these are the communities. So basically they are the virus scanning, or they are doing basically this is an antivirus site, or they are related with the virus kind of activity. So they are almost 90. Okay. So I'm just checking out of 90, how many are claiming that this is a malicious or this is an suspicious. Okay. So I'm just getting the total number of, so within a one glance, I got to know that, okay, so out of 90, these are claiming that, okay, these are the suspicious. I will just run sample report, which is okay. So if you can see here, 3 are claiming this is an suspicious or malicious. Okay. So out of 3, out of 93 are claiming this is an malicious IP. Okay. So based on this, this is an analysis date. Okay. Analysis date and time. So we have did this analysis at 11 o'clock after 10 minutes. Okay. So just go. So basically I'm just doing the formatting of this report. Okay. After this formatting, I want this in the HTML format. So I just use this HTML format, data frame to HTML. And here I'm just using this IP class. Basically IP list is basically used for to iterate the multiple IPs. Okay. So if I have hundreds of IPs or thousands of IPs, I cannot pass one IP and create a report. So basically here I'm just using this code or class to iterate to the multiple IPs. So I'm just using for loop to do the processing the individual IPs. Okay. So here I have used multi-processing because if I want to process multiple IP, for example, hundreds of IPs or 10 of IPs, then I need to wait for complete one process at a time. So here I use multi-processing. Okay. So multi-processing basically helps me to do the process simultaneously. So I can do my work very fast. Here, this class is basically, I'm just formatting in the HTML format. So basically, I'm just using HTML tags where I can give what is the header size, what is the font for header, what is the margin, what is header to. Basically, these are the kind of headers. So this is an header, H1 header. So this is an H2 header. So basically, I'm using these headers. So it output looks very decent. Okay. So looks very professional output. So I use these headers. Okay. So basically, this is an HTML formatting. Okay. So in the footer, how it looks. So basically, if you can see, the footer should looks very nice. So basically, I put who has developed and everything. So I just did this HTML formatting for the report purpose. Okay. So after this, I want this file to be converted into an, so this is an HTML report, but I want this file to be converted into PDF. So basically, I use here PDF kit library. This is provided in the Python. So it helps me to reduce my work. So I need to just pass the HTML, the file name, and the options. So basically here are the options, and just use that. What is the page size for the PDF? What is the margin from the top, right, bottom, left? What is a footer? Okay, what is the encoding? If there is any custom header, basically this is an PDF related settings. So PDF kit just help me to convert that HTML file into PDF format, just passing all this information. Okay. And it is just directly giving the PDF output. So this is a main file where I'm just giving, if I want to single entry, like I want to just pass single IP, if I want to pass bulk of IPs. Okay. So what is the version of this tool? So this is just an initial level tools. I mean, going further, this can be modified and much more functionality can be added into this tool. But I just created initially to be very professional kind of way, so that in future, if I want, if I get time, if I want, I can modify as a professional way tool. I just said that I use the multi-processing here so that I can do work very fast. If there are hundreds of IPs are there, so this program can work very fast and achieve the output with the less time. So instead of multi-processing, we can use, there are one libraries are there. That libraries actually help us to more efficiently compared to multi-processing. So, I mean, I'm still working on that because lack of time, I cannot devote much time on this part. So this way, the code is almost 459 lines of code. So I can say almost 400 lines of code. So this can be get improved based on the requirement or any other things I want, like these are the HTML format, PDF. So I can create any text file with the line separated IP address. I can add multiple IP address if I want to report of for the multiple IP address. The name can be anything, target IP or any name you can give. Okay. And as I said, like config.ini file contain the required details. So basically, I'm trying to hide this information to directly use in the VirusTotal Python file. That's all
Sir,
from my side.
Nice, very great. बहुत ज्यादा प्रोग्रामिंग जबरदस्त प्रोजेक्ट है.
I
sir,
mean, yes.
is there any way we can do it without the API key?
No. Why do you require to do it without API key? You can do it. You can do the web scraping, you can do the, form entries. But when API is available, it's good to use API.
Yeah, so my basic question is, what is the benefit of using API?
The API benefit is that, that you see, what is API? Okay, let's understand this.
Yeah, sir. Please.
The application programming
the
interface
API.
is a way of interacting to the web server without going to the HTML file. Now, when you go to the web server, you go to the HTML file. Okay, VirusTotal, you can fill up the IP address one by one, and then you can get the output, and you can save the output in a PDF file or something like that. Okay. But when you are doing it through the API, you are directly hitting the databases actually. You are not going directly to the web server. You are going to the web server with the API key. It is taking you to the database server, fetching the information and giving it back to you. Very, very efficient way of doing it. If you are doing the web scraping using Beautiful Soup or Request or Regex, many times you will get blocked, and many times, it's a very inefficient process.
Yes, sir. Got it. Thank you, sir.
You see the power of the importance is to see the power of scripting. That same thing that you will pay money to your organization and buy a tool. You can learn scripting and you can technically replicate the tools, in 6 to 12 months time, you can replicate any tool that you have in your organizations. Many of these automations really help us, getting. Now think about it, it is one IP address. It is perfectly all right. You can handle it manually. But if you have 1 million IP address a day, organization like State Bank of India, IDFC First Bank, ICICI Bank, Bombay Stock Exchange, a large organization, they get 10 million, 20 million, 100 million hits a day on their websites. If out of that 1 million is dropped and you want to do the analysis of all the 1 million, that whether they are the right one or bad one or good one, it will take millions of years to do it with manual work. And you can do it through automations just like a click of button. And that's the reason, the role of any scripting language, Python is definitely one of them, plays a significantly important role in automating everything, whatever is possible and many of these attacks, where the tactics, the trade crafts, the procedures, the techniques, everything changes. With the change of, techniques, you cannot keep changing the tools. You need to build your own scripting skills to map the requirements, and that makes the journey very well. Santosh, thank you so much. I think awesome work.
Thank you.
Vishnu. Great
Yes,
work,
sir.
buddy. Great work.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that you people are really picking up so well. Okay, so we'll break here. I think, give me just 1 second before we break.